Alright, so I think it's actually streaming, Diva. So it's 6, 7 o'clock at night there.
And here it is 8:30.
What time?
8:30 p.m.
Alright, we got like 5 minutes. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, no.
One thing that's problematic about this setup that I've got today, if someone tries to log in, I can't I can't admit them from this computer. I have to go to that other one. So I kind of messed up in that regard.
Okay.
Let's give it 2 more minutes, and then me and you will start it up. Are you logged into Quick Labs and all that good stuff
Quick labs.
for this
And
one?
yeah, I saw there is some Coursera, some free certifications from Google.
Yeah,
Google Cloud Architecture. It is there for up to 1 month only, free up to 1 month, and if in the 1 month you earn that certificate, you will get it for free.
yeah.
So something.
All right. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We'll start it up. So here we go. Um, Me and you've been talking. You know these links. Yada yada yada. That's for the Slack. Uh, they had the Southern Dev Fest on. I got the T-shirt. I got some other T-shirts in the mail. I sent out the mail to Jim, Laverne, and Karen and Andrew, saying that I had a T-shirt, and then I gave the links for the Southern Dev Fest, and I submitted the paper that wasn't accepted. They at one point they asked me to do something, and I started it, and then they said, "Oh, we got somebody else." So I did that, and then I watched. I didn't have a link. They have a chat. I don't have a link to that chat to be part of the official Cool Kids Club, whatever. But I did have the YouTube link, and you were watching it. I saw some of it there, and
Laverne also joined in some session. I saw her in the session.
yeah. Were you in the YouTube link?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they had like 3 of them, I do believe. But anyway, there's that, and then anyways, so we've got today. We've got this third lab, and I remember we did this before, and we kept getting stuck. I think on like task 4 or task 5. Maybe it was task 5. All right, and the problem with that is right here. Where is it? Create all resources in US East 1 region and US East 1B unless otherwise directed. So let's do a Control F of US East at a minimum, right? It shows up there and there. Doesn't show up anywhere else. So he's not directing it to any place else. If we do like U.S., right? We know it's at least going to be in the U.S. It's not going to be elsewhere.
Okay.
All right. Well, the thing is, the checkpoints up here, which I think is this one, that looks at U.S. East 1D. The way I found that out is when I got their solution, and I actually said that they said, yeah, the solution works, and I'm like, no, the solution doesn't. And they say, yeah, the solution works. So I was like, okay, well, let me do it. And if you look at what they're doing differently from us, down here, is it not there? This is their solution. In their solution, basically they sent me a screenshot, and from the screenshot I created the text equivalent. But right there is US East 1D. So D is not B. You see? See how that's D and that's B? That's why we couldn't get past it. And that's where we had all of this, like, trying to do it different ways, right? All right, and then task 5, yada, yada, yada. This is what we were trying to do, but it's literally this. Right? So I think sometimes they had some stuff missing, but let's see if we can see the comparison of this before we start it off. So they are edit the deployment, right? Then now do check my progress number 1, which is click the checkpoint. I've edited both of these, but this is basically what they're doing. They are we CD to Valkyrie app. they're staying in Valkyrie app there. I also put these things relative to where they are. So you're in Valkyrie app, you do the git merge, and then you do the edit deployment, and then you do the build, and then push. And so what did we do up here? We edited the deployment, but we build and pushed up here. So I'm not sure about that, why the order is different. This is actually changing what is in Kubernetes, but this is building it and then pushing it. I guess this builds and pushes to the repository, and then it's not up to date until this thing changes. I don't know. It looks to me like it's weird. It's like here you're telling it you want to use a version 2, but he doesn't know where to get it. And then here was a build and push. This was one method. This was another method where they were building it, they were tagging it, they were getting the images, and then they were pushing it. I don't know why I think they were just showing you at this point in time it had been built. But it's still basically, this is build and tag with the GCR. This is build and then tag with the GCR later. This is GCIR, blah, 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 right? This is Valkyrie app, but then he's tagging this that he's already built into the GCR. And then we didn't have this part, but yada, yada, yada. But anyway, we should go ahead and get started, because this is going to be a lot of stuff, because we failed it before. So let's go ahead and hit start lab. 10:08, we're starting earlier. We've got the quiz that I actually edited and put in one question relative to this, which was the delete bit. Oh, Laverne's trying to get in. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't. When they pop up over there, there's another one. Hey. Hello, Cedric and Laverne.
Good morning.
Sorry about that. I was telling Diva, since I'm sharing this screen and I'm recording the session to stream to YouTube, but I'm doing that on that other computer, and that's the computer that's kind of like admits entry, not this one. So I was like, I got to keep checking that, yada yada yada. I just was talking to Diva about what we did, and then about this lab, and then the error in that the lab says US East 1B. We did a search, it's like, do all this unless otherwise directed, and we were doing that, but in the in the solutions from Quick Labs, when you ask them about it, there's literally a step, see if I can find it again, where when you look in their solutions, here, so this is the Quick Lab solution, they're doing their creative cluster in US East 1D, not US East 1B, and as a result, the checkpoint is not checking the right place. So we got this, we got to open the thing. We should get past it. I went through, and as I was documenting it, I ran out of time. So we had to get, we're trying to get started early, so we have plenty of time on the lab. And at least we don't have to be documenting it. We can just breeze through the first stuff. It was only the last step when I did it last week, and it was talking to them and saying about, yada yada yada, East one D versus B. But if we're just running through it and we don't have to document it, we should have enough time. And the problem at the end, I think, is because you've got to let it detect that there's a change and do the build. You do kick a build off, but it has to finish and stuff. So we can get rid of this. All right, so we know what we've got to do. I think all of this works. So we're going to try to just copy it. I can't do that part. I can copy this part. Try this again. Copy. The last thing is a push. And we've got to do this bit. The terminal is better. I don't know why the copy and paste doesn't register sometimes. I think the problem is I'm hitting Control C with the keyboard, and that doesn't register. So anyway, so the Quick Lab solution is the same thing, but we're going to. I also think maybe we need to do that in that directory. I'm sure. All right, so here what it is. I was originally I was using this command to set that variable, and then I think it's gcloud something project ID. So if we look at our exports, because we're inside of what they call the cloud shell, it has the project in here someplace. So let's see, right there, Google Cloud Project. Let's try and copy this again. My thing is messed up. Mm. So we're in the marking directory, but it doesn't care, I don't think, because it's a Docker. We started. There he is, yada yada yada. It's in blue. So here, once again, we were doing it like so. I made a comment that you can use the Google Cloud project. I actually edited theirs just so we can type it, but we'll do it this way. All right, let's go back and make it Google Cloud project. it's kind of a drag. See how the thing is not rendering. It's rendering this as like a heading over here in the editor. Over here it looks right in the markdown. Alright, so you did that. This is where we failed before. Do it like that. So what happens if you change? If maybe you guys know this. So if we were Diva and I were talking about it before, if you make these changes and this is not in the GCR, what happens to the pod?
If you look at the state of the pod, you'll see that it had trouble pulling down the image.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna do that later. We're gonna change it to 2, and remind me. Like, let's make sure we look and see what that is. All right, there's no change there. This has to be D. Let's get that right. So I'm doing my solution. Hold on a second. Did I create? Okay. So we're just doing this. This. Let's put that. Oh, that's project ID. What's it supposed to be? Did we change it to? What have I messed up now? Hold on a second. Proto mention in group marker in the deployment panel. Maybe that doesn't go over there. For where that command is being interpreted, that environment should, but it should. What is it? That's what you said. Let's see, problem. Mismatching in group marker. Okay. Try this. Let's see what this is for a second. I don't see what I'm doing wrong. Ah, maybe we didn't get the credentials there. This is not going to do anything because we don't, that said line, because we've already made that change. But the thing is, we did this, which I don't think we did before. Alright, so we're just going to do their thing because I know it's nice and.
Yeah, we didn't associate ourselves with the actual Kubernetes cluster.
Yeah, and this.
So the G-Cloud container cluster get credentials.
Yeah, so up here in that was tasks. I think where we got off was we did the Docker run and then we did this push, and we were down here in 4. Yeah, so there is, we needed to do this part, and we didn't do any of those before we did this. The exposed deployment stuff wasn't necessary. I think that happens in here. You know, we did this, okay, so where are we? Last thing that we did here was we edited the Valkyrie dev. We don't do so we made this change. We already did the wrong thing, so we need to go back down where we made these two. We're not at that point. That needs to be 1. The number, the replicas needs to be changed. And you said it's kube control. How do you get the kube control show all?
Get all. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just trying to see if there was any there that shows where we had that error wrong, or we're on a different version. Let's see it. Do you see anything that's showing?
You see there at the top where it has the first section. Those are the pods.
Yeah.
Invalid image name.
That was where we had it set to 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then now it's still 2.
Yeah. So if you do get pod, that's that first group of pods. So we're not able to reference the image.
Yeah. Okay. So let's edit this. Maybe this project ID setting we actually need to replace with the project. It's there, right? But you can grab it easier by going here. Good eye, Cedric. Because we dorked around with that multiple ways. Let's see. It's still invalid name. What's up with that? So right there we did a push, right? And it's Valkyrie and it's project ID. And then if we echo our project ID, it's like so. It's Quick Labs FC1 or CF1 at the end. Quick Labs CF1. Quick Labs and then CF1. And that's that. So all that should be valid. Ah, now they're all running. Okay, so it was just delayed. My bad. And now that passes because of the US East 1D. This we've done. Alright, for the Quick Lab solution, we were doing the merging of the stuff first, but we'll merge it and we'll change it, and we can see like right here, we're changing the deployment, but we haven't pushed these two, so we should have the same problem. Right, it'll say like invalid image name. Error in image pool. Correctamundo. So actually, these other guys, they should also eventually get error image pool, right?
Yep.
Well, let's add in here. Well, we still only have one that's failing, but we need to press because we don't have the. So we've already done the edit part. I was hoping we would see the other ones noticing the error, but now we're actually going to push it, build it and push that version. And this should be image pull back off. I guess because he was failing before, he has to wait. I imagine if we try to test this, this will fail. He works, but maybe this is actually, go figure. All right, this is a little tedious. All right, some of this stuff you can't read, but this is actually a little more concise. And I'm going to drag this over here while I can do it and just type it, because I think we've got an hour to go. We may have to dork through this for a bit. So he does a Docker PS. This is the one that we were running before. We're going to kill it based upon, I don't know if you have to type the whole thing in B.
You looking to?
Yep. So he's stopped. All right. So that's gone. If we try to do a web preview, I'm not going to get anything now. Then he has a long command for what he's going to set up as. So he's going to get the pod. So what he's going to do is he's going to do an export. So pod name is going to be equal to something, and it's something based upon get pods in the default namespace with these labels. Right? Now, if you echo $pod name, you can see you've actually got the name of the pod. flag is back. So we do this kube control for forwarding the port, or forwarding the port on the right pod. The last thing they're doing here is they're getting the default password from kube control. So kube control, because Jenkins is already set up, he's doing this. And there is our password. So we copy that. Jenkins is now running because we set the port. This admin. It's running. And like they tell you kind of what you're doing there. And you want to commit and push these things. Alright, so Jenkins is up. I'm going to click on Manage Jenkins. Okay, so Manage Jenkins. We've got to find the credentials here. There they are. Working on Jenkins. Add some credentials. Is it Google for metadata or private data? It's metadata. Okay. That's the project name. Click OK. I've done that. Alright. We can go back to Jenkins now. Alright, so from this solution, because the UI has changed, it's like you do a new app and then click on pipeline, right? So we're not going to have that. We're going to create a new item. I'm going to type it the way that, since I typed this thing wrong, I'm just going to copy the name, because we've got to have a name that exactly matches. They say pipeline, right? Oh, actually, they say click on pipeline and select pipeline script from SCM and set the SCM to get, blah, 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 add the source repo. Well, if we click on pipeline, it doesn't have that in there, but we need
multi-branch pipeline.
Well, you see, this guy,
Yes.
I thought it was this one, but we can try this one. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Pipeline script from SCM. I was using that. But let's see if this will work. Okay, click OK. Click OK. He's saying it already exists. Hold on a second.
Center of the screen.
Folder. Maybe in configure, we can put the git repo, this, add sources, git, project with repository. Okay, the way you do this is you go back to here. I've got to get this thing, where is it? this, we're going to set the service account. Discover branches. Why is this not working? Let's hit apply. See what happens. We have the repo. We have the credentials. Why isn't this? Why is discovered branches not going away?
Scroll down to the bottom. There should be periodic updates. Scroll up. You want to check that. In the other lab, we did that for a minute.
Yeah.
So it's always looking out there to refresh.
Right, very good, very good, very good. Okay, and then we have to this change. All right, so we're in the Valkyrie app directory. What is this? This is okay. So it's going from source. So there's the source directory. So we made that change. This is just saying get up, yada yada yada, and push it. Jenkins. Let's click the build now. So he's building the multiple branches. I'm not doing the build now on this. See, I'm going to look at all of this that's messed up. Oh, that's what it was. I don't see, like, we're looking at this, the pipeline has not been run yet. It's currently disabled. I don't see like the build now button. These are suspended. What's up with that? We got 44 minutes to go. Please create a pipeline in Jenkins and manually do the build. Let me see, Jack. Go back to Jenkins. Do new item. Let's go back for a second. I don't know why. I want to get rid of these guys and try this again. Like I said, I got where I just ran out of time. We'll come back. We'll try to. Well, it's like we got time to do it multiple times. Okay, so this is launching and suspended. And if we go back. How do I delete this thing? Delete multi-branch pipeline. Yes. So we've deleted those. Let's do new item. Copy this name again. See what the difference is or something. So credentials, hours. Trying to see if he says anything about branch specifier. I don't think so. There's the build now button. Why is this thing suspended? Okay, there now. Alright, well this is like he built. See if we can see the changes. At least that one he didn't suspend, so this thing might actually work this time. Please create a pipeline and manually trigger a build, and we did that. There's the last build. And it even has the it built on master, that's what they were wanting. It has the commit message, like they wanted. The get status is there. The author is the way they specify it. What's up with it? I loathe to do this, but let's try to contact these guys again. See if it's just lag. It's not lag. It's like he is not registering. See what this guy says. The guy went away. What happened to the chat? Alright, well, I don't know what happened to him. He went away. What do you see as the issue here? We have, I think it's like, you know, something that, remember how like above the text is not right? We connect it, yada, yada, yada. We got the password, we logged in. We set up our credentials, create a pipeline job that points to the master branch. Edit this, push the changes. You will see orange colored headings. Well, how do you see the orange colored headings? You know? Like if we do, because we've set the port forwarding up to the Jenkins cluster, right, that we're running. Maybe you could look at this port, but I don't know if we've got that port forwarded or whatever. And if we're over here, the last build, it was a build of master. It was 70A. 70A. If we do a get log, 70A was where we did that commit, which has the thing in there. If we OS source, I think it was HTML that we changed. We deleted the green, and see the plus is orange on the file HTML go. Right? And then in this other file, where it was green, it was set to orange. And there's no way, if we go back, and go back to this lab, we still don't have the help for the view where we're chatting. I think it's going to say, like, please create a pipeline in Jenkins and manually trigger a build. We've got the thing called Valkyrie app. We can do a build now again. We'll just sit here and watch to see if he builds. Let's see if I can log back into Quick Labs with a different one. So he built again, and there's no chat over there. If you don't get a green check mark, click on the score flyout on top right, and then click Run Step. A hint pop-up opens to give you advice. We've done that. The chat is gone. It's built a second time. I think I actually tried to change this to an uppercase name, and it's like case insensitive. this is set to master. I think we did see that. Save that. And we'll send this. We'll have to open up another chat somehow, because this is like it's like when we were doing the stuff before. It wasn't until we saw their solutions to see how they were checking on it that we were able to chat. And then if I come over here, there's no chat message here. I can't remember. Do you know how to chat with them? I don't know. You go to help. Contact support. Hit the contact us button below. It's not there. Let's see if I can do this. Here. There's no contact us now button there. Chat window. Drag this over. See what he says. So So basically, what happened was I've done this thing multiple times. Last time I ran out of time before I could ask them about this, but I also didn't think maybe I had it set up correctly. That is definitely set up the right way. Drag all this back over here. If we go back and look at their, we're literally looking at the solution that they provided, right? They logged, this is what they're saying. I mean, we can look up here, which is just the commands, right? But here is a better one. It says open web preview, log in, manage Jenkins. We added the credentials, and I'm talking to that guy. Add the source, click save, make the change. Oh, here's one thing that's wrong. We've got to do in the Jenkins file project. We have to make that change. We haven't done that yet. Okay, so let's go back. So this your project needs to be, let's go back, related to Kubernetes project, control V. That's one thing we didn't change. Your project to Google Cloud project. Use that same commit. Push. And click build now this time. It's definitely push. Let's see what happened over here. Seems to be having a different build. Took 15 seconds. One more time. Does it say anything different over here from last time? See if any of this thing looks. So the other one didn't have that in there. Let's go back. To get a different revision, it like so. What is the, for doing two different commits? So a commit, so this has your project being changed. Look at that, is that what they were changing the words, your project, to be dollar Google Cloud project. And that should actually make that change correctly. $17. Okay, it's actually everywhere they have. Everywhere they have it. So, it's everywhere they have your. It's a global, but we'll do it like so. That's adding that entire directory. Go back, build now again, go to schedule. Let's watch this thing. Yes. So I wonder why, like they're saying. So let me think about this for a second. If you did this command in your shell, this thing over here would not have. This thing would automatically be changed, right? So it should have been the way we had it last time. This is what would get put there. It's F1 at the end. click this. That's a CF1 at the top. That's CF1, yeah. I mean, that's literally, so it would set, when you set it, it would do that. I think the project and the app name are coming from up above. And then we're adding it, we're committing it, we're pushing it. It's definitely in Git, it's in source code. We come back to here, we click build now. So like that one, there's a possibility he couldn't figure that out. But we should like you know, he's like, what is this variable? I don't know what it is. But he's running within that shell, so I don't know, maybe he does. But when we look here, console output, I don't see any outputs showing like an error. It's literally saying finish success. If we go back to 5, let's see what clicking on this one does differently. Console output. It's also saying success. He says, please click the Jenkins on the top left corner of the second screenshot you sent. Okay. Jenkins. And send me the screenshot of the landing page. So this guy is giving me some. Okay, it says, okay, John, it seems to be that the configuration of the Vapor app you have created is not correct. And that is why you're facing the issue. So here's the deal. The previous 5 checkpoints have all completed. Okay. God almighty, this guy. They kill me, man. They kill me. They kill me. I don't think they actually look at what you're telling them. I was trying to get, while we were waiting on this guy, try to show him the status of the file. So get diff Jenkins file with the initial commit. Get this run on the phone. Actually, you just have to put down its what source HTML. Change to HTML go is set to orange. So basically, I'm sending him all this updates. And, back over here, we got 3 minutes. make two changes. We did this. We did this. He's saying that something that the pods are running. I checked your screenshots and I want you to know that the last step is not updating your marks because the configuration of the Valkyrie app you have deployed is wrong. So the Valkyrie app that we deployed is wrong. What would you say in response to that? Are we supposed to be on a branch when we do this? No, he talks about the master branch. And we are on the master branch. Right? Yeah. Oh, well, it's over now. All right. Well, we didn't finish it, so yada yada yada. I will. I'll stay on here, trying to work with this guy to figure out what we've done wrong. We need to edit make some new questions for this. I'll keep that open as well. Well, that guy is saying he's going to send me an email. I doubt he'll send me anything different, but we'll just call it a day if you figure out what's going on. I noticed they still haven't made the change on that lab for the difference in the US East 1 B and D. So yada yada yada. Hey, so I lost my connection on the other computer. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but the guy basically said he will look at it. He'll send me an email. He says something about my configuration is wrong, but he doesn't say where my configuration is wrong. So that doesn't make sense. And especially we made the first 5 checkpoints. So I'm just going to end it and we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks a bunch. I'll talk to you at 1. Bye-bye.